Hi folks, well, different video today, I suppose, in a way. I've done a couple of videos and talked a little bit about DIY, adapting, and a few people have said we should have more DIY in the goth community, more videos on it and adapting, you know, teach each other what we do. So I thought maybe I'll do one or two. So today is about in memoriam. It's the things that I put around the house that I like, go with my schools and that sort of thing, and give that memoriam sort of feel. So I'm going to give you an idea of how I do it. You don't have to, you can go better than I do, but this is what I do. So and I kick the bucket. So I'm just going to show you one or two bits that I have, give you a quick insight of what I've done with them to turn it into something I like. I've got the Carolina Reaper there, I'll do it at the end. Right, where am I going to start? Because I've got a few bits. So I'm going to try and get through them pretty quick. This one I'll do first. Brand new. It was in a store. This I think cost me £10. It was in the household section, so it's probably a biscuit barrel. But me, I look at things and I see things totally freaking different. So I saw this, I'll show the back of it. That is lovely little sort of bird on the top. This is a ribbon, by the way. But try and think the way I think for a minute. What does that say to you when you see it? One, for me it says funeral, I don't know what they call furniture, decorative pieces or whatever you might have on a grave, well, something like that. But to me it said ashes, burn. There's nothing in it, but I could put biscuits, I suppose. It sits out there. So what I did, black ribbon. Here I've got all, you can't see it very well on there. I might do, if the video isn't too long, I might do photographs and so you get a close up. But it's in gold lettering. It just says in memoriam, RIP. So somebody sees that, it says to them, ashes, big ashes. I think it's an elephant. So that's one thing I'll do. But then I do a lot of charity shops and what some people call thrift shops, that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I've bought which still reflect that sort of thing. This is one. Now again, it looks very ashy like. A lot of mine tend to be round ashes. Can't very well keep putting graves in your flat. So if you have a look, it's got all this nice metal work that you can open. Metal work on the top, and it did have a lock originally. There is a actual bit for a lock there. If I open it up, I've lined the inside with silver foil and that sort of stuff to put loose tea. I'm sure this was in Victorian times, Edwardian or something like that. I'm sure it was a tea caddy where you kept the tea. Sometimes I've actually put a the divider across so I can have two different types of loose tea. The lock, because it was very expensive stuff, so the housekeeper, who would be the woman over all the servants, would have a key, probably have it on a belt. It'd be locked until it was time to make tea. Like I say, it was very flipping expensive stuff. I'm not sure what sort of price it would be now if you put it over. But again, looks good in your kitchen, and it looks like funeral wear in a sense. I'm talking about boxes. I'm flipping bad for boxes. I come across this very old wood box. Again, there's nothing on here to say, but to me it looks like it was a tea caddy, tea box, whatever. Doesn't say, no lock, because it could have come in when that sort of died out a bit and people weren't so my precious. But again, I've put the silver in, and this one's got tea bags. Now, I've thought about it. I did add the cross to it, and I've added 2 crosses on the top to give it that atmosphere of death. But I have thought about it, and I thought I very well might be putting my tea into an ashes box. At one time, ashes might have been in there, and over the years they've gone their way, and the one and only is putting his tea in it. But I don't know. So there's another box. Third box. This is metal, loads of patina on it. I think it's copper or something like that. Worst thing you could do with it is clean it up, because if there's any value to it, that'll be out the flipping window. Again, it looks very funeral sort of like, but if you could see that, there it says tea. So this again was a tea box, no lock. There you go, wood there. No, I'm sure there wasn't. I don't think there was any type of lock on it. I keep bits and bobs in it. Can't have everything in the flicking kitchen. Then we go on to different type of bits and bobs. This is, I would say, it's a goldy colour. Not brass, but it is a goldy colour. I'm sure it's not. I don't think it's brass. No. Inside there's that, which might give you an idea. That is I think it's an owl's head. Take it off, you got that. So this was a cocktail shaker, I'm assuming, but not for me. It looked early. So I got these metal strips with wording on, "In loving memory," which goes across there. So this actually sits in the bathroom, and I could put bathroom bits and bobs in there, but I haven't. Also in the bathroom is this little bottle, which just a glass bottle, but it just looked like ashes to me. And this here, there's an RIP on it, and in there is actual ashes, but they're not human, they're not animal. In there I put loads of salt crystals, and then the little boxes I have with incense sticks, and you get all that ash. I put some of the ash in there and knocked it around a bit. So if you have a look, it does look very ash-like. R.I.P. That sits out there as well. Before those two, I had this, which I come across in a charity shop. A lovely little wood bowl with a lid. And before the glass one, that ash-looking stuff was actually in here. But in here now, there's stuff that looks like ash, but it's I think it's a Radox powder or something that you put in your bath and makes it smell nice, and you come out floating around smelling like roses. Another metal piece at the bottom, R.I.P. And that does work. That was sitting in the bathroom between the taps actually, and the workman came round to do something with electrics and whatever, and he went in there and he went, "That in, is it? Don't tell me that." So people do think. Next one, and these are generally ornaments. Some of these you can put stuff in that you use in a bathroom or wherever. This I found sitting in a charity shop, probably 30 pence or so, and it looked really flipping nice. It has that sort of ash look. I can't remember what colour it was now, but this centre bit, this base, I actually painted black. I got a feeling it was the same colour as this, so I painted that black. I think it's a little vase. There's nothing on the top. This bit here with the floral is paper mache. It was a little lid off a little paper mache thing. That is hot glued on the top. R.I.P. on it. So again, it gives that look to it. Woo. And we're getting there now. This I'll show you in two bits, because this was a really old box I come across. I'm not sure what it was for, whether it could have been for putting your singles in, single records, whatever. I don't know. It's very old, and so it could go back a bit further than that. On here, Memoriam, Eternal Rest. And that's really heavy, because what I do with it is this. If I can open it, there's candles, scented candles, waxes, all that sort of thing. And it smells flipping gorgeous. I'm going to sit that here, so I'll show you the next bit. Before I show you the next bit, I had a little stand, a little brass stand, which had a little brass oil burner on the top, which was a little bit precarious if you had any grandchildren or small ones around, and could easily knock it. So never used it. Then, like the first vase I showed you, I come across this one in a charity shop. Forget the top, just that bit there. Again, this looks like something that would sit on a grave or whatever, or you could put ashes in it, whatever. Anyway, there on the top is the little oil burner. If I lift that off, there's a wick in there, so I can actually have a flame, which makes it look even better. Another brass bit here which says "sadly missed." So this sits on the floor just down there. this sits in the middle of it like that. So it looks like a big memoriam thing to somebody that's sadly missed in there. So that'll give you some idea of little things that you can come across in charity shops. Things like this. Just got to use the imagination and think, oh, I could do that with that. Now you don't have to do memorial things, you can do whatever you want. And the very last bit I'll show you is this. Whoa, a lot of bending down today. Which way have I got it? Yeah. It's quite a nice jewellery box actually. You can put rings in it and it's got compartments. So it was also a nice one, and it had a little motif on that reminded me a bit of vampirish, very sort of count looking. But then one day I decided to do this. Now I bought a set of these, which is like marble tea coasters. Came across them in the charity shop. Some of these and placemats are the same stuff. Anyway, it dawned on me one day, 2 of these, I've took the little feet off. 2 of these I glued onto the top of the box. This little thing here, I'll show you a bit closer up. This little thing I found in a charity shop, but I thought it'd come in handy. I think it looks like a little ceramic wall plaque. Could be a woman that is just in a sad pose, or it's more than likely Mary in a sad pose or something. Anyway, the 2 coasters on there, the ceramic lady on the top, because it reminded me very much of the top of tombs when you get a figure laying on the top of a tomb. So you'll see that in a minute. Bottom here, a small silver ring, which I think was a small kitchen, shower curtain ring. And I've just stuck loads of little silk flowers in the middle of it, so it looks a bit like a wreath. Then I actually found this little crystal, Celtic is the word, Celtic cross, see-through, which I thought would go nice on the end to give it that look as well. So if you have a look close up, that's what it looks like. There's the lady. So it's very much like a tomb. So yeah, I think I got it the other way around. So there, yeah, it's a nice box. Put what you want in it, sit it on the side, but it gives it that lovely memoriam look. So yeah folks, they're just little ideas of when you're looking around in a charity shop. You don't have to follow what I do, use your own initiative. Some of these things you don't even have to turn into what I've turned into, but it gives you an idea of if you want this sort of thing and you don't want to pay a hell of a lot of money for the real thing or antique real thing, you can just buy stuff that's sitting there, and with a bit of imagination and buying letters, brass letters or whatever, in memoriam, R.I.P., sadly lost, whatever. Yeah, so just to give you some ideas. And before I go, I found this in a charity shop today. It's ceramic or something like that. Cost me 99 pence and it really goes with me. Chilies. I saw that and I thought you're freaking good. You're coming home with me anyway, and especially for 99p. Talking about chilies, before I go, I normally have Carolina Reaper soup with the Carolina Reaper in it, which gives it that oomph. But that was just an habit that's formed, really. I'm just expected to do it. I don't drink soup forever, although I like it, and it makes it lovely and smooth, although it's stinking hot. So today I thought I'd use a drink that I drink a lot of, coffee. I put it in a glass cup so you can see it's coffee, and that has actually got the Carolina Reaper in it. So this is new to me, and apart from new, it's going to be freaking cold after all that talking, but I'm going to see what it's like. This is black coffee, no milk, no sugar, Carolina Reaper. It's bloody hot. I'll tell you why. The Carolina Reaper sort of takes away the coffee flavour. It's not very strong, which normally it is. It's dulled the coffee flavour down, so it's a little bit more watery taste wise, but then it's left the Carolina Reaper there, so it's like watery coffee that kicks your backside like a donkey. Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't drink it all the time because it does take the coffee flavour away. But yeah, freaking heat's still in there. And the last thing, shopping today, I bought an American hot pizza. It's called American hot pizza. All the usual paraphernalia on it, and pepperoni. Come home, put more cheese on it. It's actually got on it green jalapenos and red chilies, and I added more cheese and ghost chili, so it's a thin base crispy one. Now that's nice because the bloody flavour's still there. So folks, I'm going to finish the coffee, I'm going to finish that. I'll leave you with this. So it's up to you if you want to copy this sort of thing. Whatever. DIY. Have fun.